I came to it slowly. I have a friend who's a councillor in another borough, and he was telling me about a year ago that he used it, and he said it's great. He's in opposition, and he said it's great to be able to highlight all the failings of the council. I'm not in opposition, so that didn't sound particularly attractive, and I wasn't really sure about its application really, but I kind of started following a few MPs and other councillors, and I could see actually it was quite a useful way for having a kind of continuous, easy conversation with people in your area, and that it was reasonably a two-way conversation, so I thought I'd start trying it out, and I did that about a month ago. And the way that most people have found me is through me putting it on emails and letters and leaflets. So the kind of route to people following me on Twitter has been through the kind of standard traditional methods. And actually when I look at who's following me, and it's only been a month and I haven't got that many followers yet, but when I look at who's following me, I've certainly picked up a few people that I didn't know before, but a lot of them are people that I already knew, or already had some kind of contact with, and it's just enabled a different kind of conversation with them.
Okay.
I mean, I think the key thing for me was to decide what I was using it for, and my kind of main aim is to use it in my ward, to have a kind of direct conversation with the people who are my electorate, who elected me, who I work for. There's obviously then a kind of broader role across the borough, and I suppose in that respect, then there are quite a few people who follow me who live in the borough who I otherwise wouldn't have that direct conversation with. And then of course there are people kind of in other places across the country who, you know, it's very nice to be followed by them, but as a councillor it's not particularly useful for me. And I'd say definitely do it. It's the kind of key to being a good councillor really is two-way conversation with the people that you represent. So being able to have that conversation, being able to tell people about what you're doing. So much of what a councillor does is a kind of constant job of work really, and it's a lot of small stuff that you wouldn't necessarily put in a leaflet or a direct mail or even in an email. It's, you know, spotting that something in the street needs cleaning up, spotting a problem in a park and reporting it and getting those kind of things done day in, day out. Twitter's a brilliant way of those small things, just kind of communicating, getting them out there and letting people know that you're working kind of around the clock. Most councillors I know work incredibly hard, work all hours of the day, get stuff done, and a lot of that goes unrecognised. Twitter's a brilliant way of people seeing some of what you're going on, and also feeding back to you about that stuff. So I'll give you an example. We got some money from one of my local parks recently. They were painting the railings, they were painting them in the wrong colour. Somebody got in touch with me, and I was able to get that sorted before they painted half the railings the wrong colour. So, you know, it's a much more kind of immediate form of conversation. In terms of what people should think about, I think one of the really key distinctions, one of the key kind of first questions is, who do you want to talk to? Because I see quite a lot of councillors that seem to have a conversation not with their electorate but with their party, so they follow other councillors, MPs of the same party, and a lot of their kind of tweets are about politics and they're very political. Now that's fine, that's you know, a way to use it, but for me that's quite a kind of partisan conversation that I think will switch a lot of the electorate off. And so I think you need to be clear about, are you speaking to the electorate, are you speaking to people in your ward, are you speaking to other councillors across the country, how are you using it? Because I think it is a different conversation, people need to kind of have a think about that.